Time it is, man. It's your boy, Grown Man Business TV. You feel what I'm saying? Now, listen, man. You can tap in or you can tap out. But you know my slogan. You know what I suggest. And I suggest you tap in. So let's get right into it. Now, you already know time and energy are the highest forms of currency, my G's. I know they got y'all here chasing the bag, chasing that money, and chasing that paper, stacking that cheese, that cheddar, and that mozzarella. But always keep it in the front of your mental Rolodex that time and energy are the highest forms of currency, my G's, at all times. It is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. Now, big salute to all my day one investors, everybody that's highly invested in the channel, everybody that understands that we are growing this channel organically. Constant elevation. Yeah, we on our way to the top. Well over 40,000 subscribers and on our way to 50K. Even bigger salute to all my newcomers, all my new subscribers, all my new investors, everybody that's making their way to the Realest channel on YouTube, Grown Man Business TV. Listen, man, I carved out a lane for the real, and I'm the only one in it. You understand me? Now do me a favor, man. Wipe your feet off before you step into the big house. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Make sure your notification bells are ringing loud and clear every time you step foot into the Realest channel on YouTube, Grown Man Business TV, my G's. I mean, it is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. Now, we going to tap in, man. Late night live stream on this beautiful Sunday. You know, start off the week nice and neat. Y'all already know how we give it up. Now, we're going to talk about Cam Newton and, you know, his crash out situation with Jason Wilson. I think that's his name, Jason Wilson. Now, one thing for sure and two things for certain, man. I want to say this. You know, I love the dialogue between Cam and Jason. I thought that it was fire content. It was amazing dialogue, and you know the downloads begin to download. You got to understand something. When the downloads begin to download, all I can do is deliver the downloads to the people. You know what I mean? And also, you know, I got a lot of feedback. I got a lot of feedback or backlash about, you know, my opinion and my ideology about young soldiers. You know, I really spoke about young soldiers, and some of these guys are meant to be war generals. Everybody's not meant to be, you know, a brain surgeon or the president of the United States of America. And we're going to tap back into that. You understand what I'm saying? But the angles are the angles. You know, nobody connects the dots like Grown Man Business TV. I mean, it is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. So this dialogue between Cam Newton and Jason Wilson, you know, is something that we are going to use to, you know, speak to the youngsters. You know, the same way I spoke to the youth and the young warriors and the shooters and the drill rappers and, you know, the young boys that want to play Black Ops and want to play Call of Duty all day. I'm going to also speak to the other side of the spectrum. You know, it's two sides of the coin. So we're going to have a conversation tonight, and it is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. Big salute to everybody that's tapped in. I know it's late. I know a lot of y'all watching the game. You know, y'all can keep me posted on what's going on with the game in the live chat. But one thing for sure, two things for certain, I'm not persuaded by the circus. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, I'm within the matrix with y'all. Don't get me wrong. I understand the Cowboys and the Packers are playing. I understand what's going on in the matrix. But I'm not going to let that. I'm not going to let the circus stop me from delivering this message. Yeah. Big salute to everybody's in the chat. You already know how we give it up. Pure dope, straight off the brick into the bottles. Y'all already know what I do. Y'all know how I give it up, and y'all know how I put it down. But before we get into this content, before I deliver these jewels, you know, drop this message, you already know I got to do some customizations to the chat, my G's. Is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. Yeah, the higher-ups and the elites are playing chess at the highest level. You know, the higher-ups and the elites are always trying to shadow ban the channel. They always trying to muffle the message. They understand that I'm a threat to the establishment. Yeah, they understand that. You know what I mean? So before we get into this epic live stream, into this powerful message, right? We got to do some customizations to the chat. Big salute to everybody that's in here. You already know how we giving it up, and you know how we putting it down. All right? So yeah. Running Warrior, keep me posted on the score and all that. I don't mind you doing that. Keep me posted on what's going on in the circus. Yeah, we all in the matrix. I ain't mad at you. Is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. Big salute to everybody that's going to tap in. You know, the game is pure. It's pure. And when the dope is pure and the game is pure, you gotta take it easy. I don't want you to overdose on this. You know what I mean? Yeah, we didn't step on this. Yeah, so take it easy. Don't overdose. We don't need nobody to OD. Just understand that this is pure dope, straight off the brick into the bottles. Nothing more, nothing less. All right, big salute to everybody that's in here. Let's do some customizations to the chat and all that. Bam. See that at the bottom of the screen, right? Before you get in here with your Twitter fingers doing your Twittering, leaving your comments all in the comment section with your Twitter fingers and all that, trying to talk to grown man business, TV all through the comment section with your Twitter fingers and all that, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and make sure your notification bells are ringing loud and clear every time you step foot on the Realest channel on YouTube. I mean, yeah, grown man business TV, baby. You know where you at. Don't act like you slid up in the situation all by mistake. Don't get all up in the live chat trying to talk to me and you ain't subscribed to the channel. Yeah, we can't have no conversation until you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you do that. All right. Now let's get into this. Big salute to the chat. I saw some clips, man, of, Jason Wilson and Cam Newton having dialogue, about marriage, about dick discipline as well, right? And I thought that it was only right that I elaborate on that. You know what I'm saying? Again, first and foremost, I want to say I love the content. I love the dialogue. You understand? See, we like to talk about race. We talk about the dog fur. We have these conversations here at Grown Man Business TV. But one thing for sure and two things for certain, you got to understand, universal law. Some things are above your race and your creed. Some things trump that. And grown man dialogue, grown man conversation is something that will trump your race, trump your creed. You understand what I'm saying? So, grown men having dialogue, that don't got nothing to do with color. That ain't got nothing to do with hair or dog fur. It ain't got nothing to do with that. When grown men bring it to the table, you could be white, you could be black, you could be Asian, you could be whatever. So seeing these two black men have this dialogue was beautiful work for me. It is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. And the downloads begin to download. You understand what I'm saying? Because I've always noticed that in this matrix, you're gonna have men that are on the outside of certain situations having a very candid, opinion on what's going on the inside. You understand? I want you to follow me on this. Let me give you an example. When it comes to marriage, right? It's always the guys that are single, bachelors, that have such, candid opinions about marriage. You feel what I'm saying? It's always the guys that can't control themselves, have no self-discipline, are the guys that want to have such a strong opinion about dick discipline. You feel me? So when I saw Cam Newton and Jason Wilson having this conversation, I really wanted to elaborate and give more context. I want to start right here. I'm gonna start right here, and then we're gonna go into this. We're gonna get deeper into this. But Cam Newton is a weird guy to me. Let's just take all the money and put that aside. Let's take all the fame and the fortune and let's just put that aside. And let's look at Cam Newton for who Cam Newton is. And Cam Newton has always been a very weird type of man to me. And you got to understand something. But the same way I speak and I spoke on, Anton Daniels, I'ma speak on Cam Newton. And one thing for sure and two things for certain, y'all already know, I kept the receipts. Yeah, I don't go nowhere without the receipts. I don't bring up no topics. I don't go in depth about anything unless I got the receipts in my back pocket. Yeah, I'm not going to step out the house without the receipts. So I got the receipts on Cam Newton as well. And I think it's nasty work. Cam Newton has always been a weirdo. I'm not going to call him a Rainbow Coalition member. I'm not going to say he's down with the LBG 123, the ABC community, but I will say that he's always been a weird type of dude when it come to this. So even hearing Cam Newton talk about, marriage and, sexual discipline. I mean, it's something that we got to address. And you got to know something. One of the reasons why I really thought that this content was powerful is because you got a real grown man like Jason Wilson having a conversation with a weirdo like Cam Newton. We're going to get into this. You got a grown man. I'm talking stand on business, heterosexual, black, grown man having this conversation with a weirdo like Cam Newton. Oh yeah, you know what? Let's get right into this. I want to get right into this because before we get into the actual dialogue, I just want to give some context on what I mean when I say weirdo. Okay, so we're gonna start right there with Cam Newton. I want to start right there with Cam Newton when I say weirdo. Okay, so let's get into one of these receipts. Before we get into the actual dialogue, I want to just get into a couple of receipts of Cam Newton so you can get a real kind of understanding on what I mean when I say, Cam Newton is a weirdo. And it's always the weirdo type of men that have such a strong opinion about what goes on with married men. Now, this here receipt is a receipt of Cameron and a pastor, Jamel Bryant. That's the pastor's name. And Jamel Bryant, he said he had some choice words for Cam Newton, and the encounter was just very suspect to me. All right. So I want to show you this, and we're going to go through this receipt, and we're going to go through another one before we get into the actual meat and potatoes of the situation. Now I want y'all to watch this receipt right here and tell me something ain't right. I want y'all to watch this receipt right here, and I want y'all to understand where I'm coming from and get some context on why I say Cam Newton is a weird man to me. All right, let's get into the receipt. Big salute to the chat. We're gonna be talking about sexual discipline. We're gonna be talking about marriage. We're gonna be talking about certain aspects of a man. What's going on within his matrix? Yeah, I want all my youngsters to hear me tonight. The same way y'all hear me when I'm talking about warriors and sliding and shooting and killing and I'm talking about what we should be doing on the battlefield. I need you to hear me the same way when I'm talking about manhood. Certain qualities and attributes of a man that makes you a man. I need you to hear me, youngster. All right, but before we do that, we gonna have a little fun. I want y'all to look at this receipt, and we gonna talk. Go ahead, talk to him, Cam. Look.
You got pretty legs, man.
Oh man,
And they lanolated.
man, listen,
I mean,
I'm back working out.
You put shea butter, jerky.
Oh, you see that?
They glowing in the dark.
I'm just
Y'all
nourished.
zoom in. Do not skip leg day.
Don't do that.
Do not.
Don't do that. Sometimes you got to remind people, like, it's okay, but the work has to be done.
Oh, listen, it's evident. It pays
you know
off.
what I'm saying? I'm back eating right, trying to live right.
Yes.
I done purged my tongue since last speaking with you.
Yeah.
So I don't curse no more. I try not to curse no more. I had a
Wow.
flare up the other day, but
Yes.
who's keeping count?
I'm not.
Other than that, man, life's good.
You got pretty legs, man.
Oh man,
And they lanolated.
man, listen,
I mean,
I'm back working out.
You put shea butter, jerky.
Oh, you see that?
They glowing in the dark.
I'm just
Y'all
nourished.
zoom in. Do not skip leg day.
Don't do that.
Do not.
Don't do that. Sometimes you got to remind people, like, it's okay, but the work has to be done.
Oh, listen, it's evident. It pays
you know what I'm
off.
saying? I'm back eating right, trying to live right.
Yes.
I done purged my tongue since last speaking with you.
Yeah.
So I don't curse no more. I try not to curse no more. I had a
Wow.
flare up the other day, but
Yes.
who's keeping count?
I'm not.
Other than that, man, life's good.
I want to stop right there, right? Big salute to the chat. We gonna get back into this, but you got Jamel Bryant telling Cam Newton he got some pretty legs. Yeah, told him they was jerked and shea buttered. Yeah, he told him he had some pretty legs. And respectfully, I'm just saying, like, for a grown man to tell another grown man he got some pretty legs and it looked like he got extra shea butter and Jergens lotion smeared all over his crotch and his thighs and all that. I mean, I don't know how to take that. So it's things like this that make me call Cam weird, respectfully. I want to watch it one more time. I want you to hear what I'm talking about. These are the guys right here that have something to say in regards to marriage. These are we really gotta be able to stand on business and look at and understand what this is. You got this past, and we gonna play this receipt one more time. Just one more time. Yeah, I don't want to just call them. I don't want to just say that. Yeah, I don't know. Well, yeah. Go ahead and talk to him, Cam. Look.
You got pretty legs, man.
Oh man,
Legs, man.
oh man.
And they lanolated.
And I want to look at this right here. Yeah, I'm just trying to say right here, like, look right here. Look right there. Like, why do you got your inner thigh exposed like that? That look like, come on, son. Come on, son. You don't lather your legs up with Jergens and shea butter and then cross your thighs like that with your inner thigh and your thigh meat showing like that. You don't sit across from another man like that. My man, you gotta understand what's going on here. These dudes is from Atlanta. They out there in Atlanta. It's a lot going on. So I want to spend a lot of time on this, but let's let my man talk. I just wanted to give y'all some context on what I'm talking about right here. Cam Newton, I don't care how many babies you got. You got some sugar in your tank. You got some Fruit Loops in your bowl with your milk. You've been eating Fruit Loops and Fruity Pebbles and all that. Yeah, go ahead. Look.
You got pretty legs, man.
Oh man.
And they lanolated.
Man, listen,
I mean,
I'm back working out.
You put shea butter, Jergens.
Oh, you see? Man, listen.
You got pretty legs, man.
Oh man.
And they lanolated.
Does anybody know what somebody in the chat tell me what lanolated mean? Somebody in the chat, can you tell me what lanolated? He said you got some pretty legs and they lanolated. Yeah. All right. Look at Cam. Look at Cam right here. Look at Cam right there in the face right there. Look at that. Yeah.
Man, listen,
I mean,
I'm back working out.
You put shea butter, Jergens.
Oh, you see that?
They glowing in the dark.
He told that motherfucker, you put shea butter, Jergens. Oh, but shit, they glowing in the dark, baby. He said, you see that? Can we? That nigga Cam Newton said, did you see that? Yeah, nigga, you peeped that. You peeped the Jergens. Huh? Motherfucker says you landed. Look how he hold the mic. Look how he hold that motherfucking microphone right there, looking at his legs and all that. Yeah, look at that right there. He got that motherfucker cocked to his mouth. Look.
I'm just
Y'all
nourished.
zoom in. Do not skip leg day.
Don't do that.
Do not.
Sometimes you got to remind people, like, it's okay, but the work has to be done.
Oh, listen, it's evident. It pays
you know
off.
what I'm saying? I'm back eating right, trying to live right.
Yes.
I done purged my tongue since last speaking with you.
Yeah.
So I don't curse them.
That motherfucker Cam said I done purged my tongue since the last time. That nigga started laughing. Yeah. Yeah, look, let me get right there. Look what these motherfuckers started. I done purged my tongue. Look how the pastor laughed when he talk about purging his tongue and all that. Look.
Yes.
I done purged my tongue since last speaking with you. So I done purged my tongue since last speaking with you. So I done purged my tongue since last speaking with you. So I done purged my tongue since last speaking with you. So I don't curse no more. I try not to curse no more. I had a
Wow.
flare up the other day, but
Yes.
who's keeping count?
I'm not.
Other than that, man, life's good.
I'm gonna stop you right there, Cam. All right. Now I don't want to get lost on that. You know what I'm saying? I want to stay focused, man. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Cam is a weird guy, right? And when you sit a grown man in front of a dude like Cam and you have this type of conversation, I just think that it's powerful and it needs to be elaborated on. You know what I mean? And it's something that the youngsters need to be able to understand just how powerful discipline, the quality of discipline is. You know, like I said recently, between the ages of 15 and 24, young men are finding their purpose. They are finding their way in life. You know what I'm saying? And you got some young boys that are embracing the warrior spirit, embracing the warrior aspect. And then you got a lot of young boys, more than few, because it's a very small percentage of real warriors. A lot of these youngsters think that they want to be a warrior. They think they want to be a shooter. They think that they want to be in the field, playing war games. And then they turn 25, 26, 27. They have a couple of children and they figure out that they really just want to be a family man. They figure out that they really just wanted a family the whole time. You understand? They figure out that in their rebellious state as an adolescent and a young adult, they were fighting and they were rebelling. And at the end of the day, they just wanted they wanted the nuclear family unit. And that's really what they was yearning for. So by the time they turned 25, 26, 27, they turned 30, they done did so much dirt in the street. They done committed so many crimes that they can't turn back. They can't. After you become a killer, after you do certain, war crimes, there is no turning back. There is no being a family man. For the majority, it's death or it's jail. So in these young stages of our lives as young men, right, we are searching for our purpose. And you know, you have to understand as a young man, and I say these things because you need to understand as early as possible. As early as possible, my G. Like, I'm talking 10, 11, 12 years old. You need an OG to be telling you that, loyalty is a quality that you need. Honesty. You understand what I'm saying? Discipline, right? Patience. These are tools that you're going to need to have in your toolbox to really pursue your purpose, to really make it to the other side of poverty. The other side where you got the pool in the backyard. You got the income to sustain your home. You got the family. So again, the same way I talk to the small percentage of warriors that come up in our environment, that come up in our community, I'm talking more to the young man that's unknowingly searching for a family dynamic. He's unknowingly, you don't even understand it. You smoking your backwoods, you drinking your lean, you having your fun, you partying, you having sexual relations with this girl, that girl, and this girl. You ain't thinking about it. And then before you know it, you realize, man, I just want to be there for my children. I just want to be able to see my children and raise my babies and, be a family man and be the man of my household. And, you don't understand that that's what's coming. 15 years from now, that's all you're going to want, youngin'. All you're going to want is a nice house, couple of cars in your driveway. Your kids is happy, they full, they taken care of. Your old lady, she good. That's all you gonna want. But if it ain't nobody here to tell you this, you don't even see it on the other side of the, you can't even imagine, you can't even fathom, because you know, all you want to do is smoke, and you know you young right now. So we having this conversation. And what you gotta know is that it hits home when you got a real man talking to you. It get weird when you got these rich celebrity puppets with this money telling you X, Y, and Z, and you think that it's golden because they got money. But the whole time, you know, he got the pastor telling them about his legs and all that. The whole time he got a grown ass man telling him about the shea butter and yeah, and the Jergens that squirted all on his thighs, and he got his thighs, yeah, he got his inner cat, all that shit showing. He got his, yeah, he got his thigh meat hanging all out with the extra shea butter on it. That's why I tell you my voice is powerful, and I'm only gonna use my platform to elevate. I'm only going to use my platform to elevate. And a lot of people is in my DM. They feeling a way about me talking to the warriors. But I tell them, and like I'm going to tell you, you know, God didn't ride up on a white horse with a bunch of silk and linen all in all. God was a warrior. When you read that Bible, it was a lot of wars going on. You don't get to have peace without war. You don't get to have love without hate. You don't get to have the yin without the yang. So don't come to Grown Man Business TV expecting me not to give you the real, pure dope straight off the brick into the bottles. Don't come to this channel. Don't engage with a grown man and expect me to hold your hand and lighten my voice and talk to you like Saucy Santana. That ain't what we do over here. The same way I'm going to talk to the warriors is the same way I'm talking to the young men, the young fathers, the young husbands, the young businessmen, the young entrepreneurs, you know, the next generation. Okay? Now, what I want to do is I want to start right here. I want to start with discipline. I want to start with patience. All right? You know, imagine most of us over 300 in the chat. Imagine us as 10-year-old little boys having a grown man explain the importance of patience and discipline. Imagine what that would have did for you. Imagine if you would turn 15 and now you got 5-6 years of thinking and homing in on being patient with yourself as a young man, being disciplined with yourself as a young man. A lot of us wouldn't even have children right now. A lot of us wouldn't have been young fathers. A lot of us wouldn't have went to prison. A lot of us wouldn't have been selling drugs. A lot of us wouldn't have been doing a lot of that because we would have had that game. We would have had those tools in our toolbox. It took a lot. You got to understand something. For my generation, it took a lot of us bumping our head in society to realize, hold up, I need to be disciplined. I can't do that right now. Hold up, I need to be patient. I need to give myself some grace. Everything don't happen overnight. Let me build this business. Let me build this legacy. Let me build this. Let me be patient. All right? So I want to start right there for the youngsters. Discipline might be one of the most important tools that you're going to need on your journey in finding your purpose. Or we're going to talk about this because all of these angles and all of these tools and all of these different, you know, different attributes of a man is only here to help you and lead you on your journey of finding your purpose. We're going to talk about that. Your purpose is what matters, my G. But it's going to be way harder for you to home in and lock in on what your purpose is if you don't have discipline. It's going to be real hard for you as a young man to figure out exactly what your purpose is if you ain't got patience. This is what they don't want to talk about. They don't want grown men like myself giving you this game. They want me to talk about Whack 100. They want me to talk about Krishan Rock and Blueface. Let's get into this. Let's get into another angle. Let's get into another receipt right here. Big salute to the chat. See what they talking about. Now, I want to say this. You know, I did my thing, and I had fun last night. You know, cracking jokes on Anton Daniels. We don't see eye to eye about a lot of things, but I also said for everybody in my DM as well. I also said that I got certain respect for Anton Daniels. I don't agree with Charlie Kirk, but I got a certain respect for Charlie Kirk. Certain things we agree on. One of those things is marriage. Anton Daniels is a married man. Charlie Kirk was a married man. Grown man business TV. I'm a married man. You understand? So we're gonna play this clip. We're gonna get into this receipt. But I need you to understand, just because I talk about your areolas scraping the dirt when you do push-ups, don't mean I don't have some type of, respect for certain angles and certain aspects. Just because I speak about your areolas all in the dirt when you're doing your little push-ups and all that. Yeah, I talked about that. Yeah, they got my chair, my video is yellow. They don't want me to make no money because I talked about his areolas and all that, scraping all on the dirt. So I said tonight we gonna take it from another angle. I ain't gonna joke on your areolas. We going to home in on some pure dope. We gonna keep it raw. All right? Yeah, they made my video turn yellow. They don't want me to get paid because I was talking about Anton Daniels jumping and getting the double Dutch rope, holding his breasts. Let me stop. Let's stay on track right here. Big salute to the chat. Run the likes up and all that. Let's get into this. Talk to him, man. Talk.
Don't Shannon Sharp, right? In long story short, if nobody's seeing it, it's about temptation. Can we speak about that?
Yeah, for sure. One of the greatest downfall of man is what? Lust, sexual temptation. And unfortunately, we're unaware that science has shown us that lust, when you're a slave to it, it negatively impacts the prefrontal cortex, which affects our decision-making skills. So you look at David and his life, here it is, he's king. He had a concubine, right? Okay, many wives.
No.
Yeah, he did. 100, listen.
No, not concubine.
Concubines, I'm sorry.
Okay, there you go. There you go.
Now, look what it did to his mind. One of his warriors.
Yep.
You know, where I'm from, that's a worthy offense to kill David.
Mm-hmm.
You know? You gonna sell out your boy for some sex?
Yep.
Was it Bathsheba?
Yeah.
Mm.
And Uriah was the warrior. Because he couldn't get away with it, he had Uriah, Joab put Uriah on the front lines to get him killed. I say that because here it is,
All over
2025. We still struggle with the same thing. My second brother was murdered, major drug dealer, millionaire. The easiest way to set up any man, easiest way to get an attractive woman.
Yep.
Ooh. Now that was a powerful that was a powerful word right there. And I want to say big salute to, Jason Wilson, man. I'm not really fully up on his content. But I seen him before because I remember the white beard, you know what I mean? But I'm just now kind of getting exposed to his message. You feel what I'm saying? And when I saw this, I thought it was powerful and I wanted to elaborate on it. And he's talking about, again, we talking about discipline, but in this particular piece of content, they're talking about sexual discipline, and he went into the scripture. He went into the Bible, which I like to do because I told you the truth is in the Bible. There's no denying that, right? He's speaking on a story in the Bible where you had a king, you had a pharaoh or whatever, right? And he had a homie, right? And even though he had multiple concubines, one of his homies, he wanted his wife. He had no sexual discipline. He had no loyalty. So again, he wanted his wife, and he figured out and he conjured up a plan to get his and take his wife. What he did was he sent his homie out to battle, made sure that the generals put him on the front line so he would guarantee lose his life. And once he lost his life, he was able to take his homie's wife. Now, why am I saying this? Because again, homie, you know, women, you know, not having sexual discipline, being a slave to the wolf pussy, being a slave to lust, temptation. It's the downfall of empires. And just like he said, Mr. Wilson, you know, it's happening right now in present day. Think of all the young men that have either went to prison or lost their life, all behind a female, all behind the wolf pussy, because they didn't have the foresight to understand that, nah, homie, nah. You know, we was raised like this. You know, let's get into this situation. You know, my generation, I'm gonna speak on my generation. We was raised like this. We was lied to. They lied to us through the movies, through the music, through the radio, through video games. I mean, they lied to us, my G. You know, they told us that women ain't ish but O's and tricks. All they could do for me is suck my dick. Y'all remember that, right? You know, I don't know what you heard about me, but a big can't get a dollar out of me. No Cadillac, no birds you can't see. That I'm a motherfucking PIMP. I'm about my money, you see. You can holler at me if you want it with me. I'm a PIMP. So I understand how we was brainwashed. I understand how we was misled. You understand? You know, but it becomes a time where you're gonna be exposed by the truth. And when you are exposed to the truth, you either gonna accept the truth or you gonna deny the truth. You're gonna accept the truth or you're gonna make excuses. That's where the crossroad comes in at. That's where the fork in the road comes. See, when you are oblivious to the situation, you get a pass. But as soon as you are hip the game, soon as somebody gives you the knowledge, now it's a choice. It's a choice to not follow. We was brainwashed. We was played out of position. The whole time they was telling us to be PIMPs, they was marrying their wives. The whole time they was telling us to be PIMPs, they was building generational wealth for their families. The whole time they was telling us that it was cool to have multiple girlfriends and have multiple situations and make sure you hitting her, and her. They was building a nuclear family. Now we looking back and we saying, damn, homie, in high school you was the man, homie. What the fuck happened to you? So it's only right that we have these conversations and we tell the youngsters the truth. The truth is, find a millionaire out there. My bad. Let me double back. Find a billionaire out there that's not married. Find a billionaire out there that's not married. And then ask yourself this question. Why is it that when Jeff Bezos gets a divorce, he gets married all over again? Why is it that these billionaires, as soon as they get a divorce, they get remarried? Why is that? It's power in union. It's power in discipline. It's power in these things. The whole time they got you thinking, I'm about my money, you see. You can holler at me. If you riding with me, I'm a PIMP. Hop in the Benz with me. You can watch the TV in the backseat of my V. I'm a PIMP. I don't know what you heard about me. That's what they got you saying at the whole time behind closed doors. That's a married man right there. Sexual discipline. Stop making yourself so available to these hoes, my G. Stop whipping your dick out every time this girl call you. Stop using your gas money and flying across town every time she call you and say what you doing. Stop being so accessible. Discipline. Oh, we gonna stay right here. We gonna stay right here. Big salute to Jason Wilson for having this conversation. And I will say big salute to Cam Newton for opening up his platform for real dialogue. Grown man business dialogue. I mean, it's only so many interviews you're going to be able to do like Cat Williams and Shannon Sharp. I mean, how many times we going to be exposing each other? How many times Cat Williams going to expose other black men and not name one Jewish person or not name one white person? I don't respect it. I respect this type of dialogue. I respect the grown man business aspect of the situation. Discipline. You know, we're going to move forward, but I want to stay right here, right? I want to stay right here. For young men, our first example of practicing discipline is in a sexual manner. When you a young man, you horny, you know what I'm saying? You have to start practicing then. You don't become a millionaire without having discipline. You don't become a billionaire without having discipline. So you got to start early practicing discipline. You can't be undisciplined and then your whole life and then out of nowhere think that you just gonna be, it don't work like that. That's why these dudes that practice discipline end up losing everything when they lose discipline. I want to use Shannon Sharp as an example. In the NFL, you are forced to practice discipline. The NFL, football, it is a business. So there is a certain level of discipline. You have to work out. You have to eat right. You have to make sure you at practice. You have to perform. These are forms of discipline. This discipline is what got you to the NFL. But as soon as you start practicing, you stop practicing discipline. As soon as you out here with no dick discipline, that's how that little dog fur having white girl got your ass in that lawsuit and you lost $40 million and you lost a whole bunch of endorsements and damn near lost your whole goddamn career. See how fast it happens? When you was in the NFL, you was a Super Bowl award-winning champion. You get out of the NFL, you stop practicing discipline, and you damn near lose your whole career with this little, I'm talking stick figure white girl who don't look like nothing. Yeah, we saw the text messages, Shannon. Yeah, you's a nasty boy. Yeah, you's a nasty man, my brother. Respectfully. You know, it's something that I'm passionate about because with age and maturity, I realized just how much my generation was lied to. I mean, they really had us in a chokehold. I mean, they really had us blindfolded. You know, they had my generation wanting to be real niggas and drug dealers and, you know what I'm saying, killers and for real niggas. That's really all we was, that was what was cool. Like my generation, we wanted to be a pimp. We wanted to have 5 girlfriends and shit. And then we end up with baby mama after baby mama. And we end up with child support. And we end up 10 to 15 to 20 years behind. You wake up one day, yo, DMX had a line, salute the RIP to DMX. He said, man, I can't think of the line, but he said, you wake up one day, he said, life is too short to be caught up in some dumb shit. Wake up one day, 40 years old on some bum shit. Time flew by, you was too blind to see the light. Every day it's getting darker, here comes the night. Now what? Realize that you ain't got shit. Not long ago, you was the man on some hot shit. You know, that line always stuck with me. Those bars always resonated. I was a young man when I heard him say, I was far from 40 years old. But when I heard DMX say that, it made me think as a young man. And I said, man, he right. I don't want to be 40 years old on some bum shit. I always remembered that. Yeah, I'm going to say it again. DMX said, R.I.P. to DMX. He said, now what? You realize that you ain't got shit. No. He said, Wake up. He said, wake up one day, 40 years old, on some bum shit. Time flew by. You was too blind to see the light. Every day is getting darker. Here comes the night. Now what? Realize that you ain't got shit. Not long ago, you was the man on some hot shit. Like I always remembered those bars. 40 years old. Yeah. Wake up one day, 40 years old, on some bum shit. That's what happened to a lot of people in my generation because we was lied to, we was blindfolded. We didn't understand discipline. We didn't understand patience. We didn't ever even think we was gonna be able to make it to this side of the fence right here with the big house and the pool in the backyard. We couldn't even see that far. We couldn't even fathom this shit. To all the youngsters out there, trust me, man, they say that life is short, but is it? Ask your uncles, ask your daddy, ask anybody that's an old head. This life don't feel short to me, my G. Yeah, yeah, life is short. I mean, for who? Who are we talking about? Life is short for who? You got a lot of living to do. Life ain't short, my G. You got a lot of living to do. And you got so much living to do that you gotta be patient. Now we gonna get into patience. We're gonna talk about this tool. We're gonna talk about this quality called patience. Big salute to the chat. I'm gonna let the homie Jason Wilson talk a little bit more, and then we're gonna get into this. Yeah, you got a lot of living to do. Everything they tell us, I always feel like you got to put it in reverse. Everything they tell us, you got to look at it in reverse. If they telling you that life is short, that's a lie, homie. Life is long. Yeah, 70 years, that ain't short. 60 years, that ain't short. That ain't a, yeah. Yeah, you fuck around and live to 100. Hey, listen, homie, life ain't short. You got a lot of living to do. So if you got a lot of living to do, then life ain't short. See, a lot of these, listen, follow me, man. Follow me, man. These downloads are powerful. I can't hold them in. If they got you thinking that life is short, you ain't even looking. You ain't even looking up the way. You ain't even looking 20 years from now because you think life is short. And then when 20 years from now come and you 38, 40 years old, you wake up 40 years old on some bum shit. Now you saying to yourself, man, I wish I would have did this different. I wish I would have did that different. But you always thought that life was short. It ain't short, homie. You got a lot of living to do. All right? So you're going to have some patience. You're going to have some discipline to make it to this side of the fence. And even on this side of the fence, it ain't all hunky-dory, my G. It ain't all shits and giggles over here. It's still hard work. It's still discipline. And it's still patience that you need to go to the next level. What happened when you turn 40? Now you trying to turn 80. That's 40 fucking years. If you lucky, that's another 40 years of living. Life ain't short, my G. Yeah, when you turn 40, I'm giving you some game, youngster. Yeah, I'm talking to you from somebody who made it to 40 plus years old. What I'm telling you is, after 40, you start looking at 80. That's a long time from now. So you need to make quality decisions. You need to practice discipline and patience. That's the only way to make it. You know what? Let's let my man Jason Wilson talk a little bit more. Big salute to the chat. Run the likes up. I mean, it is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. They don't like when I talk like this. Go ahead and talk to them. Look!
Jermaine struggled for years
Come
with
on,
dental issues before
YouTube.
finally finding
Come
relief.
on,
Listen to
YouTube.
what
Don't
he
do
wanted
that.
after his smile makeover.
Don't do
We're
that.
so foolish in the mind that we led by our penis, the lust, no sexual self-control. And so when I saw Brother Shannon, and because I don't meet these brothers, I don't speak on things that I don't know. I think that's unfair to them.
Yep.
You know, I've seen someone do that about me. It's like, you don't even understand what I was going through with my mother. All I could speak on was just the lack of sexual self-control that we all need. I see it affect the boys that I work with how you have good fathers, but because of the lack of sexual self-control, or even deeper, brother, it falls into a lack of self-love if we really deal on the psychological level.
I want to give Cam Newton some credit because I think that Cam was dope and he's picking some awesome guests and he has an awesome podcast. I would even put Cam Newton's podcast up there, probably right up there, if not above Shannon Sharp's. I think that Shannon Sharp has a phenomenal podcast also. I had an opportunity to shoot some content with
Yeah, we're gonna get out of there.
Become a Lothario, or a man who's promiscuous, that he doesn't even value his own temple, that he got to sleep with everyone else for affirmation. When I see the damage that it does to his sons, and then the ill effects of that in their graves, and then how statistics show us that homes without fathers, the boys are at a greater risk of being incarcerated, and the daughters are more likely to have, or to get pregnant young, and then also reach puberty before its time, which is now linked, scientists say, is linked to depression. And so the reason I wanted to speak on it was not to condemn Brother Shannon, was like, look, what can we learn from my brother?
Yeah.
You know, and we're so quick in society, as you were saying, look at the content, but not the context. This has been going on for centuries.
Yeah.
Why does it keep happening?
Yeah.
Brother was...
Yeah. You know, I like that. You know what I'm saying? I like that question, right? Like, why does it keep happening? The higher ups and the elites understand how powerful lust is, how powerful a lack of discipline is. Let me go a little deeper with this, right? Because like I said, them knowing exactly how powerful these qualities are, right? They weaponize it. They use it. See, the thing is, they use your weaknesses to chain you in. Yeah. This ain't back in the day where they just gonna put slaves in chains and put your ass on the plantation. What they gonna do is they gonna figure out what your weakness is, and then they gonna chain you. They're gonna give you the chains and let you put them on. They're gonna give you the rope and let you hang yourself. Now, let's get deeper into that. How is that, GMB TV? I mean, what do you mean by that? I mean, GMB TV, you know, can you elaborate on that? Absolutely. Let's talk about porn. You know, that P word and all that. You know, you ever asked yourself, or you ever noticed that you can't get a free loaf of bread in America on American soil, but somehow, some way, porn is free? I mean, think about this. Really sit here and think about this. I couldn't walk into a grocery store and say, give me a loaf of bread. They got a 99-cent loaf of bread right there. Me and my family is hungry. If I walk out the store with a loaf of bread that's unpaid for, your ass going to jail. But somehow, some way, porn is free. I mean, big girls, little girls, old girls, young girls. I mean, white, black, Chinese. I mean, BBW. I mean, whatever you like, my brother. What is it? What is it that you like? What is it that you lust for? What, you want to see a threesome? You want to see two girls, one man? You want to see one man, two girls? I mean, I don't know. What is it that you lust for? We'll give you that for free. Nobody really connects the dots the way Grown Man Business TV connects the dots. So that's letting you know how powerful lust and a lack of discipline is. I mean, you know, think about this shit. When I was growing up, right, you had to find the goddamn tapes in your uncle's bedroom, right? You had to have a VCR, right? You had to have the house to yourself, right? You know, you had to have a lot of things work out in your favor for you to be able to get off with that porn and all that. You had to have a lot of shit. The stars had to align. Your mama had to be at work. Your daddy had to be at work. Your uncle had to be out the house. You had to have a VCR, a VH1. Yeah. And you had to have, yeah, you had to have access. Now you ain't gotta have nothing but a cell phone and internet Wi-Fi connection, and you can log into your nearest porn site and you can get it cracking 13 times a day. I mean, you can whack off all like you want to whack off. Bitch, you can do it wherever you're comfortable. You can go in the bathroom if you need to. Music ain't free, my G. I mean, what music you talking about? Spotify, Apple Music? Those are monthly subscriptions, my G. Respectfully. What you talking about? You gotta know something. It's a reason for that. The less discipline, listen, the less discipline you got, the more control they got over you. The less discipline you got, the more control they got over you. I just want the youngsters that fall under my voice, that come into my DM, I just want y'all to be more powerful than we was. I want y'all to elevate higher than we elevated. The earlier you understand that discipline, patience, loyalty, these things gonna take you to the next level. Yeah, nobody ever thought about I could type in right now. Get it cracking right now. I'm talking ass and yeah. I'm talking feet, ankles, ass, everything. And it's all for free. I ain't got to subscribe to nothing. I don't partake in that shit, homie. I'm a married man. You know, I got in-house. Yeah, my shit in-house. So I don't have to worry. But I'm just saying though, the less discipline you got, the more control they got over you. So yeah, y'all, we understand. A lot of y'all lust. A lot of y'all, you know what I'm saying? So there you go. Keep your mind on that to keep your mind off your purpose. Now let's go into this purpose right here. Let's talk about this. We not staying late. I want this to be potent. I want to get right into this and get right out. I want to get in and out like a robbery. Yeah. Yeah, on this Sunday night, I want to get in and out like a robbery, my G's. That's all I want to do. It's Sunday. We got a lot to do this week. We got new goals to accomplish. We got new money to make. We got to go to work. We got shit to do. In and out like a robbery. Your purpose, my G. You know, let's go into this purpose. Let's talk about your purpose. You know, I really want to take a second and let you know that the younger you understand that you are here for a purpose, the smarter you'll become. The more you'll make better decisions, the more you will look into things and move with logic, except for moving in your feelings. All right? Everybody, especially the men, youngsters, old head, whatever, we here for a purpose. See, again, these songs, this entertainment, you know, porn, all these different avenues are here to distract you from your purpose. You know, you focused on shorty. She's so bad. She's so cute. She's so gorgeous. You can't really focus on your purpose. It's a distraction. You know, you want to get that money. All you really worried about is getting money. You know, I need a bag, baby. I need that paper, though. That paper. You chasing the paper. You done forgot about your purpose. See, an old head told me something a long time ago that resonated with me. I was older. I wasn't a teenager. I was in my mid-20s, but better late than never. Better late than never. And I guarantee you, if this OG would have been around and tell me this when I was 13, you know, the shit can alter your future. A lot of things might not be in play right now if I knew this when I was 13 instead of 28. But an OG told me, don't chase women chase your purpose. See, if you as a man, if you're chasing your purpose, guess what? The women will chase you. You'll never have to chase women again if you are chasing your purpose. So stop chasing women. Find your purpose. If you are, as a man, are looking towards your purpose, the women will be chasing you. All you got to do is chase your purpose. And see, a lot of us mess up. That's how, I'm telling you, listen to me. That's how as young men, we become baby daddies and shit. We done had a baby with the wrong person. We done got tied into this person for the next 18 years of our life, because instead of us chasing our purpose, we was chasing women. And a woman is a distraction to your purpose. Oh, this shit get deep, homie. It's you know, you ever wonder why she looks so good to you? You ever wonder why she smells so good? You ever wonder why you can't get her off your mind? Because she is a distraction to your purpose, my G. I'm talking all the way back to Adam and Eve. See, before Eve got into the garden, right, Adam had somewhat of a idea what his purpose was about. He understood that he was the ruler of the Garden of Eden. He was yeah, you know what I'm saying? He had discernment over all the animals, and he was there to, you know, name the animals, feed the animals, make sure everything was intact in the Garden of Eden. But as soon as a woman was introduced, he lost his purpose and he got tricked out of position. He forgot what his purpose was, and he ate that apple. We all know the story. Ain't nothing wrong with having a girl or a wife, as long as you figure out your purpose. You figure out your purpose, and then you get that, and then you tap into your girl, and then you tap into your wife. But if you don't know your purpose, how the fuck you go? See, if you ain't on your purpose, how you gonna lead her? Now, as a man, you are lost. You got to master yourself. See, a man that hasn't mastered himself will be mastered by a woman. Listen, if you haven't mastered yourself, there is a woman that is going to master you. I'm just talking to my youngsters, man. I'm talking to the young men that fall under my voice. If you have not mastered yourself, there is a woman that is going to master you. That's why a lot of men in my generation ended up in certain situations where we got baby mamas, we got child support. She won't let me see my baby and all that type of shit going on. Because you done went and got caught up with a female before you mastered yourself, and now that female has mastered you, and she has mastered a check for the next 18 years of your life, and you can't get out it. You stuck in that motherfucker like goddamn Sam Quentin. You stuck in that child support check like you was on Alcatraz. Yeah, Rikers Island, nigga. Because nobody told you to master your situation before you let it. Yeah, nobody told you that. Nobody told you to chase your purpose. And if you chase your purpose, the women is going to chase you. See, we had it all wrong. One of my due diligence and one of my duties is to make sure I at least say, hey, I gave you the game, homie. Hey, listen, my G. I gave you pure dope straight off the brick into the bottles. Take it or leave it. I mean, this shit right here is like a rap album. It's like a discography. You know, if I'm here or not, you can lock in the Grown Man Business TV. This shit is listen, man. It's like my intellectual property. It's my IP that I'm giving you every time I hit that live button. Every time I go live, I'm giving you my intellectual property. And as long as this application is here to mislead you, you're going to have a chance to lock in the Grown Man Business TV and get that pure dope. Yeah, it's a yin and a yang, homie. It's a gift and it's a curse. Chase your purpose, and the women, they going to chase you. Master yourself before a woman, because if you don't master yourself, a woman is going to master you. Purpose, my G. What is your purpose? Now, again, that's why a lot of people in my DM, they didn't like when I was talking to the soldiers, but you got to know something. It's a lot of young men out there. Their purpose is to be a soldier, is to be a war general for the community, for the greater good, for the forward progression. It's a lot of young men out there that's gonna live and die for the forward progression of our people. So I gotta be the one to tell them, hey man, you living and you dying for the wrong situation. You ain't supposed to be living and dying for drill music. You ain't supposed to be living and dying killing your own people. If you're gonna live and die as a soldier, you're supposed to go to war across the train tracks. You're supposed to go to war with the real opposition. A lot of people didn't like me talking to them. They don't want us talking to the soldiers. They didn't want Tupac talking to the thugs. I mean, I need you to understand, I'm going to talk to the gangsters. I'm going to talk to the shooters the same way I'm going to talk to the future politicians, the future presidents, and the future entrepreneurs, the future millionaires, and the future billionaires. I'm talking to them right now. Because if you follow your purpose, you on the road to riches. Yeah. You on the road to riches. If you follow your purpose, then trust me, the money is going to come, my G. The women is going to come. You ain't got to rush the process. So the same way I'm talking to the shooters is the same way I'm talking to them. That's what make me a threat to the establishment. That's what make me a threat. Big salute to the chat, man. Yeah. I didn't plan to come here and stay long with this. This wasn't going to be a drawn out situation. Hey, man, watch how liberated you feel when you practice sexual discipline. When shorty call you and you say, I would love to come over. I would love to come and blow out your back, but I got something that's really important right now. I'm not going to be able to do it. Yeah, right now I got something that I'm doing right now, and I cannot take my mind off it. I cannot waver at this second. That little pussy gonna have to wait, sweetheart. Can you do that? Imagine the power that comes with that when shorty know that you ain't easy. See, I don't want to be long-winded, but a lot of you young niggas is easy. A lot of you old niggas is easy. That's where you lost your power. That's why a lot of black women don't respect you they don't respect us black men. Because a lot of black women understand that you niggas is easy. You dudes is so easy and so quick to lay down with whatever open they legs up, it make you weak, my G. What I'm telling you is, if you want to be powerful, if you want to be that nigga, if you want to be a high value man, it's more than money. It's more than a bag. You gotta be, you can't be accessible. Hey, nigga, trust me. It's a lot of people that wish they could call me that can't call me. They don't have access to me. Yeah, I'm one of them ones. I've been one of them ones. It's a lot. Trust me, homie. If you got my phone number and you got access to me, that's yeah. Yeah. I'm an asset to this, man. I'm an asset. A lot of you dudes is liabilities. Anybody could call you and you gonna get in your car, you gonna fly over there, and you gonna be a worker for the night. To all my youngsters, man. It ain't going nowhere. All right? I need y'all to know something. I'm gonna close out with this. You know, when we was young, it was way harder to, it was way, let me say this. When I was young, it was way less hoes that were obvious hoes. Like it was probably a lot of hoes out there, but a lot of them were in undercover. They were freaks in the sheets and not in the streets. Like now we got a lot of hoes and they just proud to be hoes. Pussy is easy to get. The value on that wolf pussy has plummeted. Yeah, like the stock market. The value on that wolf pussy has plummeted in the stock market. Oh, it's at a low, all-time low. The value of that wolf pussy is negative 100. Yeah, that wolf pussy in the negative, my G. Trust me when I tell you that wolf pussy ain't worth a cheeseburger. I'm talking a Whopper Jr. from Burger King. That wolf pussy is at an all-time low. All you need is a goddamn glizzy from the hot dog stand and a blunt of Zaza, and you could knock her and her homegirl down. I'm talking 2-3 nights in a row. The value on that wolf pussy has plummeted to an all-time low. Don't waste your time, brother. It ain't going nowhere. You need to start young. You need to be on your purpose. What do you want to be? What are you here for? Why were you put on this planet? What is your wildest dreams? What do you desire? What it is? What is it that you want? What is your end goal? Where do you want to be in the next 5 years? Where do you want to be in 10 years? Where do you want to be in 20 years? Youngster, you got a lot to think about, and that wolf pussy is not one of them. Yeah, back in the day, you had to work for that wolf pussy. Yeah, you had to work for that wolf pussy. You had to talk on the phone all night to that wolf pussy. You had to lie. You had to tell her I love you to get that wolf pussy. You had to go on dates. You had to open up doors. You had to do a lot of work to get that wolf pussy. Today it is not the same. Yesterday's price is not today's price. Yeah. We used to go to sleep on the phone. Yeah, baby, I'm still here. Oh, nah, baby, I ain't sleep. I just was resting my eyes. I wasn't sleep. I just was resting my eyes when I heard you. Yeah, I heard what you. We used to do that. 2, 3 in the goddamn morning to get a sniff of that wolf pussy. You ain't got to do that no more. We used to sing R&B songs. We had people like, baby, I'm begging, baby, I'm begging, begging, begging. Yeah. We had Jodeci. We had all kind of boys to men. Yeah, we had all type of music to soften that wolf pussy up and get in there and make her feel comfortable. You ain't got to do that no more, youngster. Don't waste your time in your life chasing that wolf pussy. Chase your purpose, and the wolf pussy will chase you. You're welcome, youngster. You're welcome. Listen. You're welcome, man. Don't you worry about it. You don't owe me nothing. You don't owe me nothing. And I'm going to tell you, too, back in the days, our women didn't wear all this makeup and shit. Weave wasn't really cool like that when I was super young. Like, only drag queens wore this type of makeup. I'm talking RuPaul and all that. Yeah, they had clowns at the goddamn circus, and you had RuPaul that was wearing all this shit. See, y'all ain't got to do all that with these type of women, with all that goddamn makeup and all that on the shit all on their mouth and all around their eyes with the fake eyelashes and shit. It's witchcraft what y'all dealing with. You ain't got to waste your life. Or you don't like when I talk to the youngins like that? The higher ups and the elites, they don't want me to give you this game. They thought I was just gonna tell the shooters to shoot, which I will tell the shooters to shoot like Steph Curry, but I also would tell the other youngsters, follow your purpose, G. You wanna go to school, go to school. You wanna goddamn start a business, but don't have no babies, G. Child support. Baby mama drama. Yeah. Yeah, you know what the fuck? Ask your uncle to show you his pay stubs and show you what come out his check for that child support. Go, go ask your uncle. Go ask your homie. Go ask your daddy. Go ask somebody. Just walk up on a random man. Walk up on a random man on the street and ask him if he's on child support. And then say, let me see your goddamn W-2s. And he made $1,200 and $800 is going to child. The man ain't got no motherfucking money. You want that for your life? Is that what you want for your life? For that wolf pussy? For 5 to 10 minutes of that wolf pussy, you gonna spend 18 years of your life? Is that what you want? Is that what you're asking? Don't say I ain't tell you, young nigga. When they take your ass to goddamn family court and take your goddamn money, garnishing your checks and all that. I wish somebody would have told us back in the day. I wish DMX and I wish goddamn, I'm telling you, I'm wishing 50 Cent, Snoop Doggy Dogg would have told us this shit back in the day. What these bitches want from a nigga? Child support. What these bitches want from a nigga? They want to drain your energy. What these bitches want from a nigga? Really want. It was Brenda, Felicia, Keisha, Misha, Danielle, Couture, and Felicia. Rhonda, I met her at the ice cream parlor. Swan, Juarez, Chlorine, and Rhonda. Y'all remember that? DMX didn't talk about child support and them guys, yeah, but DMX was on child support. Felicia, Rhonda, Tisha, Sean, Arnell, Karan, Marisha. What these bitches want from a nigga? Child support, nigga. Follow your purpose and let the women follow you. The downloads have downloaded. We not going to, it's 12 o'clock tonight. We gonna end this live stream right there. I want to say this to my people. We do this every Sunday when we get a chance to, so we not gonna change nothing up. You know, we about to start a new week. I want to say this, man. You know, we all the same in this. We all got a hand in the pot. We all within the matrix. We all locked into this firmament. We all stuck in the matrix. You know, they got us under a spell and it's nasty work. You know, it's hard to know that we under a spell and still be forced to go along with this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't gonna lie to you. You know, a lot of people want to be able to see through the smoke and mirrors, but, you know, one of the things about being able to see through the smoke and mirrors is when is being able to see through the smoke and mirrors, but being forced to go along with the shit, right? I don't know. So I want to say this, right? You know, again, man, we about to start this work week off. You know, let's stay motivated. Let's stay inquisitive. Let's stay, you know, let's stay focused. Let's stay, you know, thankful. You know, let's stay optimistic about all of our situations. Let's remain optimistic. Let's stay inquisitive. Let's be, again, thankful. Stay vigilant. Let's stay dangerous. I like that. You feel what I'm saying? Let's be sure that we are keeping our heads on a swivel. Let's be aware of our surroundings. Let's be aware of our environment. Let's set new goals and crash the boards. Let's set new motivations. Let's make sure we are setting goals and we are crashing the boards and we are going after these goals. Let's always beware, even at 40 years old. Let's beware of our purpose. Let's not lose sight of our purpose in this matrix, being as though we are forced to go to work. We are forced to pay for, you know, we are forced to pay for things that the earth give us for free, like electricity and water. And You know, being as though we are forced to play in this matrix. You understand what I'm saying? It is easy to lose focus on even why the fuck we are here. It's so easy to lose focus on our purpose. Having to play this fucking game in the matrix every goddamn day. Let's just remain focused. Let's remain vigilant, optimistic, inquisitive, motivated, thankful, dangerous. Yeah, don't be safe, nigga. Be dangerous. And let's start this week off correct, man. Even the week is fucked up. You know, they done messed up the time. They done lied to us about the days of the week. They done lied to us about the map. They done lied to us about every goddamn thing. And we just in here acting like it's really Monday. I'm sorry, I don't want to go too deep. I don't want to go too deep, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, Charlie P. Salute, I see you in the chat, my G, Big Britches. I don't want to go too deep, but we got to get up and act like it's Monday. We got to get up tomorrow and act like it's it's the beginning of the week. You know, January 1st, we got to fucking celebrate and act like that's the beginning of the year, even though it's in the middle of the goddamn winter. And ain't a flower, ain't a tree, ain't nothing out right now. Everything is dead. In the middle of winter, they got us acting like it's the beginning of the goddamn year. You know, every time, the deeper you think about it, the harder it is. It's like, man, this shit is just so fucking tiring, bro. It's exhausting. So yeah, man, let's make sure we all get up tomorrow on Monday, right? And go to work or go in the office or go to our business, whatever we do to create resources in this matrix. And let's just, hold it together. Everybody just hold it together. You know what I mean? Let's just hold it together, my G's. All right, so y'all already know what time it is, man. It's your boy, Grown Man Business TV. You know, you can tap in, you can tap out, but you know my slogan, you do know what I suggest. And I mean, yeah, I suggest you tap in, you know. I suggest you tap into this Grown Man Business. I suggest you tap into this Grown Man content at all times. You already know what it is. Straight off the brick into the bottles. Straight off the brick into the bottles. Straight raw, pure, uncut, no extras, no preservatives. We not sugarcoat nothing. We not dressing nothing up. I'm giving you this game straight, pure, dope, straight raw. To all my youngins out there, discipline, patience. These are qualities that you will have to get in your toolbox as fast as possible. These qualities are necessary. It is not, listen, life is too short is bullshit. They lied to you. Oh, life's short, my G, and don't say it, life is short. You got a lot of life to live. So if you got a lot of life to live, then life ain't short. Prepare yourself. A lot of you motherfuckers is you gonna wake up 40 years old on some bum shit. Time flew by. You was too high to see the light. Every day is getting darker. Here comes the night. Now what? Realize that you ain't got shit. Not long ago, you was the man on some hot. A lot of you young niggas chasing women is going to end up exactly what DMX was talking about. A lot of you youngsters that's not chasing your purpose, not listening to the message, not soaking up this game is going to be exactly who DMX was talking about. With all that being said, we are in a matrix. This shit is not real. Either way, bills got to be paid. All right, so let's start the week off nice and neat. It's your boy, Grown Man Business TV. You feel what I'm saying? Now, listen, man. You can tap in or you can tap out, but you know my slogan. I mean, you definitely, absolutely know what I suggest. And I suggest you tap in. Gang.